And it took every bit of Jesus in me not to kill this dude. Are you hearing me? I know the church has hurt you, but you got to get past that sense of brokenheartedness and understand that God has something greater for you. And it don't matter if pastor do right or pastor do wrong. Pastor ain't your master. Can I be honest with you? Pastor make mistakes. Pastor sin even when he don't know it sometimes. Stuff I do, I may know about. Stuff I do, I may not know about. So pastor is not perfect. Pastor ain't Jesus. Don't put me in that position. Should you honor me? Yes. Why? Because I'm the man of this house. I'm the pastor and the leader of this house. As you bless me, God will bless you. Don't get it twisted. But watch me serve you just the same. That's when you know you got a good leader. When you got bags and I carry your bags, when your wife's walking out to the car, I'm making sure she gets there good. Don't you neglect mine. Oh, he the pastor. He the pastor. No. As I'm serving you, you should be serving me the same way.
Hello, thank you for tuning in. This is Pastor Sonny with the Lifehouse Church. If you hear a word and it changes you, come and visit us. We're at 6254 Memorial Drive, Stone Mountain, Georgia. Website is www.yourlifehouse.org. We hope to see you this Sunday. I love you and God bless you. Check out this amazing word from God.
This is my heart, my heavenly daddy, that can't no devil in hell hold me down. I've got to go higher. Even when the enemy tries to come against me, I'll get a random phone call that says, Pastor, be careful. We're going to a higher level. So the enemy is going to try to take you out. He's going to try to ensnare you in things. Get you caught up in stuff you shouldn't be involved in. Be careful. Are you listening to what God is saying through me? Don't hear me. Because I think I've kind of showed you that I'm just a wretched man. We've got to go higher. We've got to go higher. But in order to go higher, we've got to get rid of the heartbreak mentality. Tell your neighbor, say, I've got to shake my heartbreak. Oh, you didn't say it like you mean it. Tell your neighbor, says, I've got to shake my heartbreak. Ooh. Because of our heartbreak and our issues in our past, many of us have a hard time committing our hearts to anything. You say you want to smile, but you're reluctant. You're afraid that as soon as you let your guard down, he or she is going to do something. Or do the same thing that that other person did. You go into your new relationship with this person who could potentially be your Boaz, which is the blessing from God. Enlarge my territory type blessing from God. But you so caught up in the last guy and the past guy that you can't see your future behold before you. You checking their phone. Ain't nothing been there all week, but you still checking their phone because the last guy had all kinds of foolishness in his phone. You watching him as he goes to work. You going up to the job. You're stressing yourself on stuff that doesn't even exist because of the last person you was with who you shouldn't have been with to begin with. Oh, that's easy for you to say, Pastor. You've been with the same woman your whole life. The devil is a lie. I have seen my fair share of trifling. Am I talking to somebody? I hope you're listening. So you're afraid to open up. You're afraid to smile because you feel like as soon as I give my heart, I'm going to be hurt again. Some of us are even, we share the same struggle with the church. Pastor, I want to love my church. I want to heart what God has brought me to, but I'm afraid. I want to be committed, But you just don't know what happened to me before I got here. And I came here to tell you, I know some of you have been church raped, church abused, and church hurt. And I'd be a liar if I said I wasn't one of them. When I left the church, I was going to hell with gasoline draws on. I had decided that church was for demons and that the street was more real than the church. They kept it real. I knew who wanted to rob me. I knew who had my back. I just couldn't understand and recognize that there was a house that could be catered to such a thing, where folk could come in and be committed, could come in and be transparent and not have to worry about folk talking about them, could come in and you better not have to worry about somebody talking about your appearance and how you dress. If you do, please come and holler at me. God will fix that stuff. I've seen it. I've been at a church where a pastor preached my wife into a complete annihilation and had her crying the entire service, and when it was over, came over and act like we did something wrong. And it took every bit of Jesus in me not to kill this dude. Are you hearing me? I know the church has hurt you, but you got to get past that sense of brokenheartedness and understand that God has something greater for you. And it don't matter if pastor do right or pastor do wrong. Pastor ain't your master. Can I be honest with you? Pastor make mistakes. Pastor sin even when he don't know it sometimes. Stuff I do, I may know about. Stuff I do, I may not know about. So pastor is not perfect. Pastor ain't Jesus. Don't put me in that position. Should you honor me? Yes. Why? Because I'm the man of this house. I'm the pastor and the leader of this house. As you bless me, God will bless you. Don't get it twisted. But watch me serve you just the same. That's when you know you got a good leader. When you got bags and I carry your bags, when your wife's walking out to the car, I'm making sure she can feel good. Don't you neglect mine. Oh, he the pastor. He the pastor. No. As I'm serving you, you should be serving me the same way. Oh, I don't know where that came from. Some of y'all need to take note. Somebody need to hear that, whoever that was for. Hear it, get it in your spirit, take it with you. Because you call me in the middle of the night and I come. Some folk can raise their hand to that. I ain't asking for you to, but some folk can raise their hand to that. I'll serve you better than most of y'all will serve me, I promise you. Because I have a servant's heart. It doesn't come hard to me. It comes easy for me. For some of y'all who were brought up stingy, I'm not looking at y'all first lady or her mama. Why y'all laughing? Y'all making it seem like I'm talking about y'all or not. My baby is a reformed, stingy person. I would be the first one to say that. You couldn't come to our house. You would reluctantly get a smile. Well, we were both muggers at one point in time. We wouldn't smile. We would always give you the nasty mug like, who was you? Until we came into a real revelation that Jesus had some ministry he needed to do through us. She reluctantly started to grow upon her. She started to let folk come to the house and eat her food and, different things like that. And, just became a sharer. She wasn't always like that. Her mama knows, she can tell the truth. Her baby was stingy. I don't know if she was raised like that. I can't blame it on you. Oh, she was a baby. She was spoiled. Okay, spoiled and stingy. All right, there you have it. So, see, I'll tell the truth. Thank you, Jesus. Revelation. So anyway, we learned to be sharers. We learned to care about people, and we became on one accord as it related to what God had called us to do for his people. Amen. Are you hearing me? Are you hearing me? But before that, we were broken. There was something that was not right. There was something that was not fixed. And God says, I've got to fix this before I can use it. God said, man is not the fixer. We are not Bob the Builder as it relates to spirits. Let God fix it. Let God fix it. Stop trying to be judgmental. Let God fix it. Yes, we can speak life into people. Yes, we can help them in certain ways. But only God can fix a person's heart. Are you hearing me? Stay with me. I just have a few more minutes. I'm doing well on time, so don't you fall asleep or I'm going to have somebody smack you. Come on. We are living in the shadow of a heartbreak. Play me something soft because we're coming up on my point. Say we're living in the shadow of a heartbreak. How many people here can truly say that they've been hurt before by a relationship, a family member, a loved one, something to that extent? Look around you. Look around you. This thing is rampant. Why does it exist so rampantly? Because God still gives us the freedom of choice. He gives us the freedom of choice, and that's why sin exists in the world. It's not because God wanted this thing to happen to you. He didn't want you to be abused. He didn't want you to be neglected, molested. He didn't want you to be in that kind of relationship where that person cheated on you and broke your heart. He didn't want those things for you, but because He's given us free will and the ability to choose for ourselves, we're choosing poorly. Are you hearing me? So because everybody in this room has been affected in some form or fashion by a heartbreak, then we're all in some way or extent living in the shadow of a heartbreak. Let's unpack this. Let's unpack this if we can. How to get out of the shadow of a heartbreak. If you got your pocket change, open it. If you don't, raise your hand. I'll have my ushers bring you one. You gave them the other ones? Thank you, sir. It takes light to create it. It takes light to remove it. Come on, come on, come on. It takes light to create it. It takes light to remove it. Are you hearing me? Come on now. Y'all not seeing it. When you have a shadow behind you, that shadow is created by what? Light. So to remove that shadow, because I do photography and different things like that, you have to counteract that light with another set of lights. Are you hearing me? So the more light you cast on the thing the subject that you're trying to photograph, the less likely you will run into the issue of a shadow. Are you hearing me? So how does that equate, Pastor? What does that mean? It means that if you've had love issues in the past, it takes love to counteract. Some of y'all see it already. You don't know how good a relationship is until you've experienced a bad one. Ooh, you really love the person you with when the person that you were with before acted a wild monkey on you. Anybody ever experienced that? You came into a new relationship and the person, you're still a little scared, you're still a little shy because you're used to the treatment that you received from the person you were with before that person, and now you find out, whoa, this person is nothing like that. They love me unconditionally. They're praying for me. They're going to God on my behalf. This ain't even the same relationship. I didn't even know this type of relationship existed. My whole premise was built upon a compromise. So to really rid yourself of the brokenness felt from a broken relationship or something like that, you've got to allow yourself to to relate again. Oh, well, Pastor, I can't take on no more friends because everyone I take on, guess what, baby? You're going to find that one person who will be in your life through thick and thin, who will cover you, who will keep you. Don't you worry about what happened in your past. You got to still allow the light to shine on you. It takes light to create a shadow, but it takes light to get rid of it. Is it clicking? Some of y'all gonna get it. Is it clicking? Because I can't tell from your response. Is it clicking? Yes. Okay. So your past hearts and hurts can be overcome by your willingness to love again. That's how you fix it. You've got to learn to love again. Well, Pastor, how can I do that? How can I love again after all I've experienced? You got to know that there is a love out there who will love you like no one. There is a lover out there who will love you unconditionally, and that is your heavenly daddy. But what about my real daddy? Don't you worry about him. He couldn't daddy you like your heavenly daddy does. In fact, if he was in your life, he might have been a distraction from what God wanted for your life. Don't you allow that to burden you. Don't you allow that to shackle you and keep you down. The second point is this. You can't run from it. Anybody as a child ever tried to run from their shadow? Come on, some of y'all were kids at some point in time. Anybody ever try to run from? Or try to step on it? That shadow be gone on it. You can't run from your shadow. Just like you cannot run from your past heartbreaks. You cannot run from them. You cannot pretend they didn't happen. So instead of pretending like the hurt never occurred, use that to the glory and to the power of God and as a weapon in your arsenal. What are you saying, Pastor? Saying, well, you know what? I'm not going to let that defuel me. I'm going to let that push me. I've been hurt before, so now I'm getting on a committee to help hurt women. I was abused, so now I'm nurturing women who have been abused like I was abused, or men who have been abused like I was abused. I was put in a situation where I had to be raised by people who weren't my parents, and I felt brokenhearted, but now I'm going after the lost. I'm using this not to hurt me and kill me, but to fuel me for what God wants to do in my life. That's why I'm so passionate. That's why I care so much, because I remember how bad it hurt me. How much more would you protect somebody from going through what you had to experience if you could? Use it as a passion. Take what the devil thought that he was going to use to kill you and twist that thing and use it for God's glory. If I can get this person to hurt her like never before. If I can get her daddy to abuse her, she'll never rock back. She'll never trust another man. She'll date women. She'll change her life. If I can just get these things to happen, I can kill her legacy. The devil is a lie. Yes. The devil is a lie. He does not control your destiny. He does not control your legacy. God has a bigger and better plan for you. So you've got to take those hurts and allow it to fuel your purification. You've got to take those hurts and allow it to rearrange your whole mindset. It's all about strategy. Are you going to let it kill you or build you? Last but not least, let me read the word that goes with that one. your shadow does not define you. Your shadow does not define you. Whoever dwells in the shelter of the Most High will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. See, when you get your shadow, in this instance, I'm saying your shadow represents your heartbreak. Your shadow represents your issues that try to follow you. Your shadow represents the problems that have occurred in your life that people will try to hold against you. But when you dwell, see, some of y'all won't get this, in the shelter of the Most High, you will rest in the shadow of the Almighty. Therefore, what used to be your shadow is null and void. It no longer can be seen. That thing that people will try to judge you by. Where did it go? Which way did it go, George? Which way did it go? It no longer exists because now I'm dwelling in the shadow of the man who took my sins and nailed them to the cross. If there's anybody in this room who knows that your daddy has got you covered, I dare you to stand on your feet and high five two or three of your neighbors and say, I'm dwelling in my daddy's shadow. Woo. Say, I'm dwelling in my daddy's shadow. I didn't say one or two people. I said three or four people. Come on. Say, I'm dwelling in my daddy's shadow. And I no longer, come on, declare this. Say, I no longer have to be broken. Because Jesus died and he rose again. I am fixed. In the name of Jesus. If you believe that, let me hear everybody in this building. Declare and say, I'm fixed. I'm fixed. My finances, they fixed. My love issues, they fixed. Some of y'all got to call that boy and tell him, baby, no Valentine for you, baby, because I'm fixed. I'm tired of running behind folk that ain't trying to do right with God. I'm fixed. Come on, baby. Y'all not talking like you really in this building. Come on, if you want to, you got to declare you are fixed. I am no longer broken. Say, I am no longer broken. Say, God, fix me. Say, God, fix me. When I thought I was like Humpty Dumpty, and could nobody put my pieces back together. I don't know about you, but I know he fixed me. She deserved better than that. He deserved better than that. My children deserve better than that. And I couldn't go another day being who I was, living in the shadow of discontentment, bitterness, hurt and pain, blaming the world for my situation. My daddy left me. They tried to molest me. The devil tried to kill me. I had all the excuses in the world why I couldn't make it. But at some point I realized these things that the devil thought were going to kill me.
Yeah.
They were the fuel to my walk. Now I can go into a room full of thugs and killers knowing that I've been thugged, shot, and attempted in my life. And I ain't afraid. I can walk into a room where people have been brokenhearted and say, I know how it feels. Because I've seen it. I can walk into a room where people who have child abandonment issues, because I had a deadbeat daddy. And I can say, I see your pain, but it doesn't define you. It doesn't kill you. I know the devil thought that he was going to take you out with that thing. But if he did it before, he'll do it again. If he did before, he can do it again. The Bible says that there's nothing new. People want to make it seem like, oh, my situation is new. God can't heal me. He can't fix me. There is nothing new under the sun that God has not already experienced. And if he did it before, won't he do it? Won't he do it? Won't he do it? No matter what it is, God can fix it.
Yes.
Come on, Pastor.
No matter what it is, he can do it. No matter what it is, God can fix it. He'll do it. He'll do it.
Yes, he can.
Yes, you will do it.
He'll do it. He'll do it. He'll do it again. No matter what it is, God can fix it. No matter what it is, God can do it. Yes. I said no matter what it is, he can fix it. Yes. And he'll do it. Do it. Do it. He'll do it again. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. If you try him, he'll do it. If you call him, he'll do it. If you seek him, he'll do it. He'll do it. I tried him for myself. I saw him bring me through. He'll do it. He'll do it. When I was broken, he fixed me. When I thought that I couldn't be wrong enough, he fixed me. He'll do it. Do it.
Oh, you did it.
There's some people in this house who need God to do it again. Make your way up to this altar right now. Don't you worry about your name or the people around you. Make your way up to this altar. God, I need you to do it again for me.
yesterday.